We're going to go over how to evaluate expressions using the TI-30XS calculator. Evaluate f of x equals 3x minus 7 at the following values. So remember that means at x equals 2, that means that we're going to be plugging in 2 for x. So we're going to have f of 2 equals 3 times 2 minus 7. So on the calculator, I'm going to type it in exactly like that, 3 parentheses 2 parentheses minus 7. Or instead of parentheses, I could just do 3 times 2 minus 7. Either way, you get the same answer because parentheses and multiplication are the same thing. So I get negative 1. Next one is plugging in negative 5. So f of negative 5 equals 3 times negative 5 minus 7. So 3, and then I'm going to do parentheses. Remember that the negative button is the one at the bottom in the parentheses. 5 minus 7, enter, and I get negative 22. Next we have negative 24 for x, so f of negative 24 is 3 times negative 24 minus 7. So I have 3 times negative 24 minus 7 gives me negative 79. Finally, f of 7 equals 3 times 7 minus 7. Now on the calculator, if you just did one where it's the same thing, you're just changing a number, you can hit the up arrow until you're highlighted what you typed in and hit enter. And then just use the back arrow here and we can go ahead and delete a couple numbers and then type in the 7 so it shows what we're trying to do. So we don't have to retype it in the whole time. That works really well if it's a very long expression. If it's a short one, it may just be easier just to type it in. So we get 14. Let's do a few more examples. So this time we have f of x equals negative 1/2 x plus 2. So we're going to evaluate it at x equals 1. So f of 1 equals negative 1/2 times 1 plus 2. So there's two different ways that you can type in fractions. You can just use division or you can use the fraction button. So I'm going to do the first one with just using division. So negative 1 divided by 2 times 1, and it was plus 2. We get 1.5, and then if you want the fraction, remember to use the toggle button there above enter, and it tells you the fraction form is 3/2. So depending upon what the directions say, if it wants it as a fraction or a decimal, depends upon what form you need. Next up, we have f of negative 8 equals negative 1/2 times negative 8 plus 2. So this time I'm going to use the fraction button. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the fraction button there. Negative 1, then down arrow 2. And then I can do times negative 8 plus 2. Enter. And I get 6. So my answer to that one is 6. Next one I have f of negative 13. So negative 1/2 times negative 13 plus 2. So I can go ahead and I can scroll up to that last one I just typed in and hit enter. And then I want to change that negative 8 to negative 13. So where the 8 is, I can put a 1. And then I need to insert so I can put the 3. So I can hit second and the delete button and then 3. And then that allows me to have it so I have that 13 in there. And then hit enter. I get 17/2. And if I use the toggle button, that's 8.5 as a decimal. So 17/2 or 8.5 depending upon which way it wants it. So we have f of 17 equals negative 1/2 times 17 plus 2. So again, on my calculator, I can just go ahead and hit the up arrow till I get to that last one where I typed in the negative 1/2 times negative 13 to make it easier on myself. Hit the left arrow key to the 3 and put in the 7. And then go over the negative and hit the delete button to get rid of that negative since we're plugging in positive 17 and hit enter. So we get negative 13/2, toggle button, and we get negative 6.5 for the decimal. So that is how you evaluate expressions using your calculator of how you can type that in.